Welcome to Mishna Salem, Sanhedrin, Gimal Mishna Aleph. Over here in this Mishnah, I'm going to discuss selecting the three judges. So if you remember the first Mishnah that we mentioned, we said Dinei Mamonot Bishlosha. We need to have three judges for Dinei Mamonot. So how do we choose these judges? So Zeh Borelo Echad, V'Zeh Borelo Echad, right? Each person, right, who's coming to the to the trial, right? Each one picks one. So, right? So I would pick a judge, you pick a judge, and ushnehem borim lahem od echad. And then between us, the two of us, we need to pick a third judge also, right? The reason we do this is because the judge that I choose will try to be figure a way, why I'm right. Keep on trying to find different halachot of why I may be right. And the one judge you choose will do the same for you. So afterwards, the two of us need to pick a third person. That's going to be Mir. Chamim say, no, it's not the two of us. It's not the two plaintiffs who are picking the judge. Rather, it's the two judges who are picking a third judge to sit with them on the court. זה פוסל דיינו של זה, וזה פוסל דיינו של זה. דברי רבי מאיר. Comes Rabbi Meir, and he says that each one of us could be posel. We could say, no, he can't be a judge on this court, on this case. And Chamim Omrim, we'll get to this in a minute. Chamim Omrim ematai, when so, bizman shehu mevi raya shem kirovim psulim. Right? This is when he could prove that they're related or they're pasul. Avayim yuksharim or muchim mipi bedin eno yachol lefoslan. Right? But if they're kasher, they're mumchay, right, from Betin, you can't go ahead and just say they're pasul. Now, what are they arguing on? So Rambam over here points out that Rabbi Meir and Chachamim are not arguing in a case where we have dayanim mumchim, right, where they are professional judges. Right? Everyone knows that they are great, excellent judges. They know the halakha. Right? Everyone agrees in that case that you can't be propelled them. When is it Rabbi Meir and Chachamim arguing? In a case where the judges are not mumchim, where Rabbi Meir says because they're not mumchim, right? I could question their the outcome. Chachamim say no, they are kasher. They are kasher because they're chosen as the way that they did, and you can't go ahead and be posel them. And additionally, what Chachamim continue to say, if they're kasher or mumche, right? What does that mean? It means that if they are kasher, it's as if they are mumche, where you're not allowed to be posel them. Now, Rambam goes a little bit out on a tangent over here, and he brings you a bunch of halachot in regards to, what kind of judge is used in each case, because we have this concept of mumche and not mumche. So, firstly, when both parties agree, right? They accept judges, to judge the case. Even if they're not, they're regular hedyotot, they're not hachamim, they're regular people, right? The outcome of the deen, right? Once you have the outcome, they are bound to it because they both agree they accept the process and accept the outcome, right? So you can't go ahead and retract and say, oh, I don't want to accept it because the judge that we had was he wasn't mumchai, it wasn't professional. No, that's it. You both accept it from the beginning. You have to accept the outcome, unless it's a total mistake, right? Where they made a totally botched it. So they made a mistake in the Mishna, right? And then Rambam's not getting into over here, but that you have to redo the case over there. Now, if the Ba'alei Dinim, right, if both parties did not choose a judge, right, they didn't appoint someone, right? There's a set court over here. So if the set court, if these judges, in the town that everyone accepted, right? If they are mumchim, if they know the case, right? They got they understand, they learned, they understand the Torah, they understand the original languages, right? That everything's written in. They could come to conclusions, one thing to the next from the Gemara. And they remember the halachot from the Talmud, then this person could go ahead, he's even allowed to judge himself. He could be Dan Yahidi, right? Even if he didn't get permission from the Resh Galuta, from the head of the Galut, right? The leader of the Galut didn't necessarily, even if he didn't give him permission, he's allowed to judge, right? If everyone knows that he's a Mumchai Rabim. Now, let's say he's not a Mumchai. He's not professional, right? Then over here, right? We said if both parties accept it, okay. But let's say this person should not go out and judge on his own. Even if he has the permission from the Rosh Galut, right? Because the permission from the head of the Galut is not going to make him a mumchai, right? It only counts. It only it works for someone who's mumchai, right? The difference between a mumchai, right, and someone who's not mumchai who got permission from the head of the Galut is whether or not they could force the both parties to sit in front of them, right? If he's a mumchai that the Rosh Galut gave him permission, then they can make the parties sit in front of him. If not, right, then he can't go ahead and force them. When you have a mumchai also from Eretz Yisrael, right? Everything we're talking about Rosh Galut is from Babel, right? Over here, if you have someone from Eretz Yisrael who got the permission from the Beit Din Eretz Yisrael, from the Rosh Yeshiva over here, he's also allowed to the same idea. He could force people to accept the judgment, right? But only in Eretz Yisrael. Now the Mishnah continues. They could both go ahead and be posel the witnesses of each other, according to the Rebbe Meir. One can do so. When you have a proof that they're related to you, or they're pasul, right? They're pasul witnesses. But if they're kasher, you can't go ahead and be posel them. Okay, over here, what's the mahloket over here? Right? Obviously, it's not talking about in a case when a person brings two edim and I say, oh, they're pasul, you can't have them, right? Everyone would agree that they're pasul. What are we talking about? Where in a case where, right, with Rabbi Meir Chachamim, in a case where, let's say, I claim that you have money that you owe me, and I bring two witnesses to prove it. And then afterwards, I bring another batch of two witnesses. Okay? Now, if you come and say, all four are pasul. Okay, so according to Rabbi Meir, the burden of proof is on me to prove that they're kasher, because why would you bring two sets? There must be something wrong with one of them. So now, the burden of proof is on me to prove that they're all kasher. And Chamim say, no, the reason I brought two sets was in case something would happen. I would have a backup pair, and the burden of proof is still on you to prove that they are pasul, right? Or they're or something is wrong with them. And halacha is like Chachamim in everything we mentioned in our Mishnah.